So how would you use this? How should you adjust AirForce? So with AirForce or DeltaForce, it's not, I mount these components on my planner, I enable it, and I plant, and everything's always perfect, and I never have to mess with anything. It gives you the tool to set your target gauge wheel weight so the planner is running as optimally as it can for the conditions. Now, how I would do it is I would probably, what I found over the years, probably with AirForce, I would enable it, set it at 40 to 80 pounds in custom. I'd go to home, and then, that's right. And I come back to my field view, and after I've planted a little while, I'd watch my downforce map, and if I saw a solid blue, I'd change immediately. But if I saw a little blue, some red, some green, I'd plant for a little bit. Now your end rows are going to be always harder than the middle of the field, and there's all this variance, so I'm speaking very general terms here. I'd plant for a while, 5 acres, 10 acres, check this report, and if I see my loss of ground contact with AirForce higher than 5%, I'd probably increase my target. Now I can very easily do that. If you had AirForce, this would say AirForce. I can touch that, and with DeltaForce it's one number. With AirForce it's going to be a range. If I see my loss of ground contact too high, I can either touch that slider and move it with my finger, or use the arrows. So if I'm at 40 to 80, if this was AirForce, I could hit the button to the right, and it would go to 50 to 90. Hit it twice, it'd go to 60 to 100. So if I see loss of ground contact well above 5%, I'd increase my target. Continue to plant, and see if my loss of ground contact is going down. In the same way, if I see a very low loss of ground contact but very high excess, I'd probably reduce my target a little bit. I want to minimize my loss of ground contact, but with the planner wide adjustment, I got to live with a little bit. And I want to minimize my excess. All right? So, what numbers should you look for? Around 5% loss. Good is going to be, say, 75 to 85. Sometimes higher than that, sometimes lower. And then your excess would be anywhere from, 5 to 30%.